Chapter number 5, Psychodynamic Theory in Personality. IGNU book, block 2, unit number 1. Psychodynamic theory is a very important chapter in IGNU. So to understand psychodynamic theory, we need to understand the three different minds. So we have got three different layers of minds. The top level is called conscious mind, second level is subconscious mind, and third level is unconscious mind. Still people, lot of big motivational speakers, lot of big speakers, they mix between subconscious and unconscious, but both are very different. Let me teach you today. So conscious mind meaning, for an example, if I can ask you one question, are you aware from where are you watching this video? From mobile or laptop? You're aware. Are you aware it is day or night? You're aware. Are you aware it is raining or not raining? You're aware. Are you aware that it is cloudy or bright sunny day? Or moon is out or the stars out? You're already aware. Are you aware that are you lying down or sitting or standing? You're aware. You're absolutely aware. So what does it mean? Whenever we are awake, that means our conscious mind is on. That means whatever we are aware currently, without checking, that means our consciousness is on, our conscious mind is on. Now if I can ask you one question, what did you do on your last birthday? What did you wear on your marriage day? What did you do when you got your 10th results? What did you do on the last picnic day? So immediately you can go to your memory line like this, looking at this side, and you can fetch the data, and now everything is in front of you, isn't it? What did you do on your marriage day, on the last picnic day, last birthday, 10th result day, 12th result day? Everything is in front of you. But let me ask you one question. Before I ask this question to you, were you thinking about those days? About your picnic day, last birthday, 10th, 12th? No, right? But the moment I said, what did you do on your last birthday, picnic day, 10th result day, 12th result day? Those memories, everything got reflected in front of your eyes, everything came to you in front of your eyes, and that is how you'll be able to recall everything. What does it mean? So second layer is subconscious mind. So you're consciously, whatever you're aware of, you tell, and whatever you're not aware of, but just giving little bit information, your brain will go to the second layer, fetch the data, and put it on conscious mind, and you'll be able to say as it is, whatever has happened in your life on that particular day. Right? Now let me ask you one question. Today is 18 June 2024. Can you tell me what were you doing on 18 July 2018 at 3:52 p.m.? It's practically impossible to remember. Can I ask you one more question? Do you remember what did you do when on your first birthday? You must be thinking, how can I say that? If you say that I don't remember, you're actually lying. Do you know what? Because as long as our sensory organs are working, our eyes, our ears, our nose, taste and touch, all these things are working. That means our permanent recording button is on. So whatever happened in our life from the very first day till now, everything's getting recorded. Constant recording button is on. So it is practically impossible to forget. Now you must be thinking, but no, I'm serious. I forgot everything. I don't recollect all those things. It is practically impossible. Do you know why? Because it is buried in unconscious mind. As you can see, conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. Between subconscious and between unconscious, there's a huge layer. There's a strong wall there. So whatever is there, which is buried unconscious, it gets reflected in a very differently, not in a traditional fashion. And that is why we cannot recollect those things. It looks a little tricky, right? When you're going to be explaining psychodynamic theory, I'll explain that very well. Okay? So, whatever happened in our life, we actually bury in the unconscious mind, crossing that layer, crossing that big, massive wall. And that is why we can recollect very minimal things, not majority things. What did you study in standard 5th? History or geography or social studies? Can you recall what did you study? It's very difficult to recall because that time everything is there in the unconscious mind, but it is unable to retrieve because of piercing that massive layer. Then you'll be able to recall anything and everything. So there's a different courses we have got, memory enhancement program. Through that we make you learn those things. Have you understood all these things? If I have to give you in percentage, let's remove unconscious mind separately. If I have to calculate only conscious mind and subconscious mind, the ratio is conscious mind is 10% and subconscious is 90%. However, if you include the unconscious mind with these two, then unconscious mind is infinite. It has got infinite storage. Our brain has got the capacity to store 2 lakh TB. If you cannot comprehend what is 2 lakh TB, let me help you. India's population is 140 crore. Okay? India has got around about 90 crore smartphone. And all the smartphone is having some sort of memory, 64 GB, 128 GB, 512 GB, 1 TB, etc. Right? So our brain has got the capacity to memorize or to store all the memories, all the memory card space of all the mobiles in India, which is 90 crore mobiles, the space. Number 2, we can memorize entire Wikipedia. Number 3, whatever news channels for how many minutes that you have gone through, you have watched, all the data, facts, figures shown, everything can be memorized. Everything. Our brain is so powerful. So how much are we using it? Nothing. There's a Google boy, Kautilya Chanakya. Okay, I made one video also when I was explaining intelligence. He could use his 5% of his brain. Okay, 95, and he is rocking. He is rocking more than Einstein. You understand what the seriousness of it? Now let me tell you. Now let us move on to psychodynamic theory. So psychodynamic theory, it is also called psychoanalytic theory and psychosexual theory. So these two theories given by two gentlemen. One is Sigmund Freud and the one is Erik Erikson. Very important, both the gentlemen have given the formula. So Sigmund Freud had given the analogy which is called psychosexual. He has explained more of physically, sexually, physical part, and Erik Erikson has given the understanding about emotionally. So hence it is also called psychodynamic and psychoanalytically, emotionally. Okay, so now I'll teach you with the help of this table how it is done. So infant age is from 0 to 1 year. Toddlerhood is from 1 to 3 years. Preschooler is 3 to 6. Schooler is 6 to 12. Adolescence is 12 to 20. Young adulthood is 20 to 40. Middle adulthood 40 to 65. And 65 and beyond is your late adulthood. Let us start with infant age, how it is done as per Sigmund Freud and as per Erik Erikson. When a child is born, immediately between 0 to 1 year, he believes that me and my mama, that is caregiver or caretaker, is only one thing. It's the same body. He doesn't have understanding about there is something else. Okay? His mama and him both are one thing, and that is the whole world. That's the clear-cut understanding about infant. Okay? Have you seen some infant? Whenever you give something or they want to check something, everything inside the mouth, just to taste what is happening there. You know why? Why it is happening? Because, for an example, the child is hungry. What will he do? He'll cry and thank you. For example, child is scared. What will he do? He'll cry. For example, child is agitated, irritated, disturbed. What will he do? Cry. And when the child is happy, he'll just smile. He is playing with himself or some toy or with somebody. But when the child is in some need, whether it's angry, whether it's irritated, whether it's agitated, hungry, he had done susu, he had done potty, whatever it is, he needs somebody to take care. That point in time, he cries. As simple as that, right? And the moment the child cries, what happens? Mama comes. right? What else? Mama try to stop the child from the crying. By what? By doing what? Yes, you're right. Breastfeeding. So when the nipple is in child's mouth, that means the child is getting, of course, nutrition. The child is getting warmth. Child is getting love. Child is getting care. Child is getting security, safety, everything. So every now and then, if the child is hungry or not, immediately mama start breastfeeding, and immediately child's becomes very, very easy. Child becomes relaxed and calm, right? What does it mean? So the moment the nipple is inside the mouth, this area becomes very, very sensitive, and that is why, as per Sigmund Freud, it is called oral stage. Oral meaning this stage. Okay, this area becomes very, very sensitive, right? Now, for an example, out of 10 times, the moment child is crying, out of 10 times, the mama is attending 8 times. Okay? If it is happening regularly, then the child will think that it's okay. Twice she defaulted, it's absolutely okay. Twice she couldn't come. 8 times out of 10 times, she could manage me. If that is the case, then the child will develop trust with mom and eventually with this beautiful world. If it is reverse, the mama is attending twice out of 10 times, then the child will think, I had come to this horrible place. Have you seen some beggars, kids on the road, on the footpath, on the street? They keep on crying and crying and crying, and mama does not give any attention to it. And that is how those guys become criminal. There's a very high possibility of those guys becoming criminal because they think that the world is horrible because my caregiver is horrible, and hence the world is horrible. If mama is good, the world is good. If mama is horrible in terms of taking care, paying attention, the whole world is absolutely horrible. And hence, on the left hand side of the Eric Erikson table, the child will develop trust if mama is attending 80% approximately, and mama is attending only 20% or 10%, 30%, then child will develop mistrust, okay, about this beautiful world. Whenever you see people are tensed, what they do? They smoke, they drink, they nail biting, they do nail biting, they do pen biting, all those stuffs. Why is it so? Because that oral gratification was giving them the unconscious satisfaction, unconscious pleasure, which had happened in the childhood. So if that gratification is not there, whenever they smoke, they feel their unconscious mind is getting satisfied, and hence they are relaxed, calm. That is how the correlation is all about. Okay, so it is absolutely no correlation with the smoking gives you relaxation. There is no correlation. It is the interpretation and how your childhood had been in the infancy period, which is from the 0 to 1. So you check, you ask while counseling, you ask the child or the parents that how's the environment from 0 to 1. How did you take care of your child from when he was 0 to 1, he or she was 0 to 1? He'll get to know everything. Make sense? Yeah. And the moment you build trust, the child will be hopeful. Moment you build mistrust, child will be hopeless. The child will grow adult, and he'll be hopeful in any condition when the child develops trust. Yes, there is corona, there is lockdown, economic crisis, I'll crack it. The child will be hopeful. And when the child is developed on the right hand side, which is hopeless or mistrust, the child will be hopeless throughout his life. Let us move on to second stage, which is called toddlerhood. Have you seen a 2-year-old child walking? Have you seen? ऐसे 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 करके चलते हैं, एकदम full confidence, hero. So unlike infant age, when you try to force the 2-year-old child, there's right? Why is that? Because in the second stage, which is called toddlerhood, they believe a lot of things I can control. In the infancy stage, they cannot control much. They're fully dependent on their caregiver. जब मर्जी उल्टा कर दिया, जब मर्जी सीधा कर दिया, जब मर्जी ऐसे करके पाउडर लगा दिया, जो मर्जी कर दिया आपने. But in the toddlerhood, you cannot do anything. They'll start rebel. They'll start throwing tantrums, isn't it? right? They'll become very angry. You know why? Because suddenly they realize that many things I can control. Round about 2 years, they start talking, they start walking, they start crawling, they start speaking something, they start doing something, they start jumping here and there. Suddenly they realize that I can control many things. So then why should I listen to you? And that is why that walk of the 2-year-old child. Okay? And that point in time, toilet training is very, very important. You know why? Because they take pride in controlling potty. They take pride in controlling susu. You must be thinking, susu potty control करने में, hold करने में कौन सी pride की बड़ी बात है? But that is called anal stage, because that area is very, very sensitive. In infancy stage, this area was very, very sensitive. And in the second stage, toddlerhood, that anal stage is very, very sensitive. Okay? Specifically, anal stage is very, very sensitive. And that is why they take pride in controlling potty. Okay? That is why if you want to do really well, if you want to do parenting really well, you have to give proper toilet training. If you say that, what have you done? Have you lost it or what? You have peed, you have pooped in front of everyone. Okay, मेरी नाक कटवा दी आपने. If that is the parenting, that is the toilet training that you're giving, the child will be in shame. Whereas if you give proper toilet training, the child will be in proper autonomy. Autonomy meaning autonomous, automatic, right? He'll be independent. And if that is so, left hand side, it is called anal stage, because that anal area has become very, very sensitive, unlike oral area in infancy stage. And that point in time, they control their potty. That is why, as for Sigmund Freud, it is called anal stage. And on the right hand side, under Erik Erikson, if you give proper toilet training, then the child will become automatic, autonomous. He'll develop autonomy. And if you don't give proper toilet training, you scold the child, he will develop shame. When the child will grow and become adult, he'll be under shame. He'll be always shameful. He'll not become independent. And if he's able to perform on an autonomous manner, then he'll develop willpower and determination. And if he's developed on the shame side, shame area, right hand side of the Erik Erikson table, then he'll not be able to get willpower and determination. The child will be always under stress, always become less confident. So from 1 to 3, you don't find a difference between boy and girl. लड़कों का कपड़ा पहना दिया आपने, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, from 1 to 3 years. But the next stage is very, very critical, which is called preschooler. Welcome to preschooler stage. So preschooler stage, we'll have to split this into 2 parts, for male and female. So for male child, preschooler stage is very, very dramatic, super dramatic. From the Sigmund Freud's point of view, it is called phallic stage. Phallic meaning private part. In this stage, with some experience, boys get to know what kind of private part I have, my father has, my brother has, my grandfather has, my mom, my sister, my granny, all have different private parts. The question is why? That's a very important question that keep on thinking and thinking and thinking. Okay? Then they develop innocent romance, innocent love for their opposite gender parent, meaning with their mom. And they think that mama is mine, mama is my property, mama is only mine. And they see their mama in a very possessive way. They don't want anybody to talk to their moms. But what happens is, the moment mama is at home, playing with the child, playing with the boy child, the moment husband enters, who's supposed to be the man of the house, what mama does? Mama leaves the child, mama leaves the boy child, and mama goes to open the door. And to attend her husband, mama is to do aarti and towel and everything. This is what the boy child doesn't want. You know why? Because he sees mama in a very possessive way, and the moment father enters in between mama and the child, the boy child, the relationship gets disturbed and he gets disturbed automatically. And whatever things are happening, it is happening unconsciously. Now, he develops a bit of hatred, anger against his dad, because he's coming every now and then, he is coming between the mom and the child. He understands the dad is the man of the house. He cannot do anything to dad, otherwise the dad will throw him out, isn't it? So he cannot show his anger because everything is happening unconsciously. So number one is why there's a different private part of me and my mom, and every now and then I try to get romantic with my mom. My dad enters and disturb the entire story. So little mind of that child is having so much of tension, so much of stress because of these two things. Why the private parts are different, and why are you disturbing me and my mom's relationship? Why are you coming again and again in between me and my mom? And that little tiny child mind decides unconsciously, automatically, that mama has done something wrong. Hence, fathers tend to scold the child every now and then. Ye mat karo, wo mat karo, aise mat karo, waise mat karo. Isn't it? That scolding he relates with mom is having different private part. What does it mean? That tiny mind thinks that mama has done something wrong, my sister has done something wrong, my granny has done something wrong, all the females in the house have done something wrong. Hence, my father has castrate that private part, castrate that penis of all the females. And that severe thinking, that severe tension he buries in the unconscious mind, which is underneath the subconscious mind, which is underneath that layer. Remember that layer? That strong layer which is buried in the unconscious mind, and it is buried alive. It is not buried dead. It is buried alive. Dafna diya. Which is going to come up in some time, in some other form, in certain areas of our lives. It is called Oedipus complex. Now let us move to girl. Now for girls, life is not that dramatic as boys, because girls do not have castration fear. And at the same time, girls also know that what private part I have, my mother, my granny, my sister, all have same private part. My brother, my father, my grandfather, all have different private parts. They also have the curiosity, why is the difference? But they are not bothered about castration. However, they also think that my mom, why are you coming between me and my dad? For boy child, it is boy and mom having romantic relationship. For girls, girl and dad both having romantic relationship, right? So for boys, father is the kabab mein haddi, and for girls, mother is the kabab mein haddi. Okay, so both the things is not at all welcome, and that is why they are in a bit of a disarray. And that thought also the girls they bury in the unconscious mind, and it is called Electra complex. So left hand side Sigmund Freud, it is called phallic stage, meaning private part. You can see over here. And right hand side, it is called initiative, because boy and girl is taking some initiative to propose, to convince, to build romance with the opposite gender parent. And if he is able to do it, if she is able to do it, that's fine. He'll develop initiative when he or she will grow up. And if he's unable to take initiative, if he's depressed, down and out, too much of authority parenting, then he or she will be under tremendous guilt. So initiative and guilt. And the moment he or she will be able to take initiative, he'll develop purpose. Those guys will be having some purpose in life. And the moment you are developed in the guilt side, he'll not have purpose. That is very, very interesting. Now 3 to 6. Okay, 3 to 6 is very, very critical. This point in time, you can figure out the difference between boy and girl, but 1 to 3 you cannot figure out the difference between boy and girl. So specifically for all the mothers and all the fathers, I recommend that if your child is between 3 to 6 years old, mother's role is very, very important for the boys, and father's role is very, very important for the girls. Very, very important, super important. You pay attention, you give a lot of love, and your child will listen to anything and everything, and your child will be very, very obedient and nice, well valued, respectful, well character, well nurtured child. If it big problem, let us move on to stage 4, which is called schooler, which is 6 to 12. In stage 4, it is called schooler. So stage 4, the duration is 6 to 12 years, and in the left hand side, as per Sigmund Freud, it is called sexual latency. You know why sexual latency? So what that sexual innocent romance that both the children have built over their opposite gender parent, that they have buried in the unconscious mind. And because they understand in the sexual latency side that sexual urge over the opposite gender parent and the innocent romance urge which is there on the opposite gender parent, they understand being a boy, if I have to propose, if I have to convince my mom, if I have to impress my mom, then I have to be like my father. Similarly, for the girls, if I have to impress my dad, I have to be like my mother. Because every time father comes, mama attends. Every time mama comes, father attends. Right? So I have to copy my father being a boy. I have to copy my mom being a girl. How will they copy? Have you seen 6 to 12? In the 6 to 12 years, the boys read newspaper like this. Mummy, pani lao. Mummy, chai lao. And girls tend to wear bindi, sindoor, wearing saris like their moms, try to copy their moms. Only intention is to copy the respective same gender parent. That is why they kind of copy this, they kind of imitate this, the behavior, nature, everything. So boys copy their fathers, girls copy their mothers this point in time. And in this stage, if you see, boys play with boys. They don't have many girlfriends. And girls play with girls. They don't have many boys as a friend. So they play with the same gender parent between 6 to 12. And that is why the sexual urge, that urge over opposite gender parent is very less. That is why Sigmund Freud called them as sexual latency. Now on the right hand side, between 6 to 12, we learn, we educate ourselves, we learn a lot of skills and competence. So if you're able to learn a lot of skills and competence, we develop superiority. And if you're unable to learn a lot of skills and competence and the education, the academics, we develop inferiority. So the parenting is good, the child will be superior, they'll feel confident, they'll feel superior, not against anybody, but they'll feel overall confident. If they are built on the right hand side of the table, which is inferiority, and then they'll develop inferiority. That is a big main problem. So let us move on to the next stage, which is called adolescence. That is very extremely critical. Now what is that adolescence stage? As for Sigmund Freud, it is called genital stage. Genital meaning, again, private part. But this point in time, whatever sexual latency had happened in the previous stage, which is schooler, 6 to 12, that sexual urge gets popped up in the adolescent stage. And that is why if you see, a lot of hormonal changes happens, a lot of physical changes happens, a lot of pubic hair development, private part development, overall body development. So this point in time, adolescence age, the child looks like an adult. However, the mind is still like a child. तो आकार में बड़े होते हैं, size में बड़े होते हैं, but the mind is still like a child. It's a transition period. And that is why it's a very dangerous, it's a make or break. I call it make or break for the teenagers because of so much of hormonal changes, so much of psychological changes, sexual changes, private part development, overall body development happens. And that is why they cannot keep their calm. And for the girls, menstrual cycle starts from there. For the boys, all those private part development, pubic hair development, masturbation, watching pornography, all those things start happening from teenage. You know why? Because in 3 to 6, whatever opposite gender parent romantic urge they have buried under the unconscious, and that sexually they got latent, and that gets popped up in the adolescence. And this point in time, it's not for the opposite gender parent, it is for the opposite gender. And that is why it is very natural for boys getting attracted to girls, girls getting attracted to boys. If it is reverse, then there's a big problem. मेरी दादी बोलती थी, कभी प्यार मत करना, प्यार में सब बर्बाद हो जाते हैं, बिल्कुल आना नहीं चाहिए कोई भी चीज. It is absolutely abnormal to have thoughts to get attracted towards girls in the adolescence. But my friend, the reality is, अगर opposite gender attraction नहीं है in the adolescent stage, there is some problem. अगर attraction है, physical attraction है, then it's an absolutely normal thing. Now on the right hand side, which is on the Erikson table, if I give you the analogy of left hand side and right hand side under Erikson table, this one and this one, let me ask you one question. For 3 to 6 year old child, what people ask them? बेटा नाम बताओ, बेटा कोई पोएम सुना दो, बेटा कोई डांस करके दिखाओ, बेटा कुछ गाना गा दो, right? That's it, nothing else. From 6 to 12, what they ask, what the neighbors ask, बेटा कौन सा स्कूल में पढ़ते हो? So गाना गाना recitation is the identity at 3 to 6. कौन से स्कूल में पढ़ते हो नाम के बाद the school identity card, it is the identity for that child between 6 to 12 years. Now 12 to 20 में आप किसके बेटे हो नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, आपको कविता आती कि नहीं आती है नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, आप कौन से स्कूल में जाते हो नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. द आइडेंटिटी इज रियल आइडेंटिटी. हु एम आई, व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू बिकम डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर. करियर काउंसलिंग में करियर में क्या कर सकता हूं मैं या कर सकती हूं मैं. एट द सेम टाइम आई एम समबडीज गर्लफ्रेंड, आई एम समबडीज बॉयफ्रेंड. दैट काइंड ऑफ आइडेंटिटी दे लुक फॉर. If they get the identity, the clarity about life, clarity about personal life, clarity about professional life, then they develop identity. Otherwise, they are under severe role confusion. If they get identity about their personal life and the professional life, then the middle price is loyalty. They become loyal to the relationship and they become loyal to their profession. And if they are in role confusion, they are neither loyal to their personal life, their relationship, and they're neither loyal to their profession. Very critical stage, and we need to take care of the adolescents. Majority time the parents come to me for the adolescence counseling. It's very tricky. I guide them. I have counseled around about 12,000 adolescence clients. Kids and the parents are becoming very happy. So it's never too late, but earlier the better. So next stage we'll move on to the young adulthood. But before that, Sigmund Freud has stopped his research up till this. Because Sigmund Freud is more of sexual, more of physical oriented, because after 20 our growth stops, nothing happens, but emotionally we grow, and that is why Erik Erikson went on to continue his research till the last breath. Let us move on to the next stage, which is called young adulthood. So in the sixth stage, the main important thing is, as per Erik Erikson, which is called love. What does it mean? So after adolescence, between 20 to 40 is the stage 6, where people tend to find intimacy. People tend to find either intimacy or isolation. So if your upbringing has happened on the left hand side, you'll have a lot of intimacy, you'll build network, you'll build contacts, you'll build friendship, you'll be social, etc. But if you're unable to gel up with people, unable to meet up with people, unable to understand people, you will have isolation. So you'll be deprived, you'll be low in confidence. On the other side, if you build intimacy, you'll be very high on confidence, and hence you will have love. You will love people and people will love you. So let us move on to the next stage, which is called stage 7, that is called generativity and stagnation. Here the age bracket is 40 to 65. What does it mean? So in this, the objective of us is to generate opportunities, generate leaders, creating leaders, not followers, creating leaders under leaders, creating opportunity for people in terms of personal, in terms of professional, in terms of serving the nation, in terms of serving the big humanity, society, and everything. And those who think that no, I am good enough, I am wealthy, I am sufficient, is my way or the highway, I take care of myself, I take care of my family, that is called conservative thinking. So if you are developed on the right hand side of the Erik Erikson table, you'll have stagnation. You'll not be able to develop opportunities, you'll not be able to get or create opportunities for people, and hence you'll be stagnant in life. Unka life mein zyada kuch nahi ho sakta. That is your, and here the best price is care. So you care for people. The care is the higher frequency than love, because love, there is some exchange. You love me, I love you back. You don't love me, I'll not love you. But care is something, irrespective of you care for me or you don't care for me, I'll still care for you. Just like mother and daughter relationship, just like father and son relationship, okay, parents and child relationship, majority. The last stage, which is called 65 plus, that is called old adulthood. Here there are two things. One is integrity and despair. What does it mean? In this stage you think that how have I played the innings called life? Is it a well played innings or is it not well played innings? In that case, if you develop on the left hand side of the Erik Erikson table, then you'll find that fantastic, you don't have fear of death, because whatever you have achieved, you're satisfied, completely satisfied, you don't have any problem. On the other hand side, despair meaning you're just waiting for your turn to go off, to see off this beautiful world, and you think that this world is horrible place, I have messed my life completely, I've completely messed my life throughout, I didn't live my life at all, and hence I want to go, I just want to go. Some people commit suicide and etc. So despair meaning just down and out. Integrity meaning you are pretty much loyal and you're pretty much loyal and honest for your life, and hence you have maintained integrity, and you'll be happy throughout your life till the time your last breath. Have you watched the movie Piku? Amitabh Bachchan had problems with stomach, digestion, potty when he when he was riding the cycle last minute of the movie, and he was fully content, fully satisfied, and the next morning he didn't wake up, he got died. So that satisfaction, there's a pleasure in that. So there's a beautiful saying, ये quote बोल के मैं वीडियो को खत्म करूंगा. Psychodynamic theory. In the family, when elderly people are not afraid of death, younger people are not afraid of life. So thank you so much. This is a beautiful psychodynamic theory video. I want you to learn the personality subject in length. For that you can take our recorded lectures and live lectures as well, which you can see the details over here. And हर बार की तरह ये वीडियो को Facebook में, LinkedIn पे, WhatsApp पे, YouTube में, हर जगह पे शेयर करने के लिए, हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे शेयर करने के लिए, एंड ये चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए और करवाने के लिए तहे दिल से हाथ जोड़ के हर बार की तरह नमस्कार. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye bye.